Son of
Son
egg.
of egg.
Son
Son
of
of
egg.
egg.
Son of egg. Son of egg. There should be a tab that's like, I guess it broke off.
Oh, I can see if I can restart
What's the
it.
feel of this place, yeah?
No, I think we can just keep going.
Yeah, for the son and egg, we should do like a son and egg.
Something right there.
안녕하세요, 고맙습니다. That means hello and thank you. Today it is the first podcast with some special guests. My name is Justin Coe from Son of Egg, and we have Joe Stenard and Chris Mazzei. We have a kind of an interesting connection through Hudson Valley where we met, where Professor Stenard teaches economics and Chris was also his student at some time. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit of what you guys are doing and something that you want to share?
Sure, Justin, thank you so much for inviting us for this inaugural launch of Son of Egg podcast. And I am Professor Stenard. Justin, of course, was a fantastic student, and it so happens that Chris was also a great student of mine about 5 years prior to Justin. So we've come down here on a beautiful, beautiful end of February 2021 day in downtown crime-free Albany, New York, for some good conversation and for some fantastic, delicious food and drink. We're having this special Korean
Cake coffee.
cake coffee, and it is fantastic. No, it's the #1 seller in Korea and the best cup of coffee you can get in downtown Albany.
We didn't pay this guy either.
It's good.
It is good. I'm Chris Mazzei. I'm a former student of his. Justin, appreciate you having us here today.
Well,
Yeah, excited to be here. And yeah.
so this podcast is going to highlight the businesses and individuals that make Albany what it is. So we just wanted to ask why Hudson Valley? Why did you become a professor there? And I can also share why I went there, but I want to hear it from other people. Why did you choose Hudson Valley?
That's a great question because we really are the community's college. So we have everybody that comes there has a story and they have their own reasons and it fits into how their story works, right? And I think that because it's such a big part of the community, many times folks might have their own idea about it because of how it fits into their own story, but I think it'd be good to hear it from lots of people. In my own case, I went to a different community college up in my hometown of Watertown, New York, at Jefferson Community College. I didn't think I was going to go to college as a graduate from high school. Instead, I had some other plans, but it was on the first day of classes at Jefferson Community College, where I was cruising by on my motorcycle, and it seemed like everyone was having such a good time, and there were so many things happening there that I wanted to check it out. And before I knew it, I had taken some money that I was intending for another purpose, and instead bought my first semester at college. And I caught the bug, the learning bug. It was so much different than high school. It was so much different than what I was thinking it was. And you've heard, you guys have all heard me, that people make their decisions based upon their perceived costs and their perceived benefits. So if you have misperceptions about your costs or misperceptions about your benefits, you'll make a decision that seems right at the time, but was actually wrong. You'll later on regret it if you kind of think back on it and say, oh, why did I do that? And you can explain why you did it. You don't have to beat yourself up too much, but you can be better at making decisions if you get better perceptions. And so when I realized that things were very different than I thought they were going to be, then I was willing to admit that I didn't know everything. I was willing to learn. And that's the first step in learning anything, is admitting that you don't know everything. So anyway, I had a really, really great time at community college, got involved and did all sorts of different things. It was such a valuable experience for me. And then I used it as a launch pad onto the next part of my life and the next part of my life and so forth. And I didn't really realize what a good education I had gotten until I was sitting, in another class, or I was in another situation at work outside of school, and I said, oh yeah, that was a really good preparation. But while you're in it, you don't really know how well your training is going to work. So because it was so formative and positive in my life, when I 11 years ago, when I thought about giving something back for all the blessings that I've had and the good experience that I've had, I thought about coming back to a community college and helping people that might be in a similar situation, not really sure where they're going to go, what they're going to do, or how, what life had for them. And I would help prepare them to make good decisions, and that's what I do. In economics, it's the science of decisions.
My involvement with Hudson Valley. So Hudson Valley was one of the number of different colleges that I attended, and I didn't catch the learning bug until a little bit later. My first two colleges that I went to, my first 2 years, were less than stellar. Much fun learning, except learning about the stuff I wanted to. But after about a year off, when I went back down to Albany, I decided, all right, it's time to kick it into gear, and kind of caught that bug, and really enjoyed my time there. Learned a lot, really got going in the activities and fun that Joe was talking about. And Joe's economics class really changed the way that I started looking at the world, and how I judge the costs and the benefits of decision making. Truly opened up how I looked at things. And Hudson Valley is, you always hear, it's one of the best community colleges in the nation. And I would have to agree. I guess I'm probably a little biased, but I had a really phenomenal experience there, and was lucky enough to have the support to get a group of people together, start working on setting the investment club that we had there. I had built a club at a high school when I was there, and thought it would be nice to work on something community college as well.
So Chris is actually the first president of the history-making Hudson Valley Community College Investment Club.
And tell us why it's so special. Why this investment club was so special. Wasn't it something to do with the first?
That's right. I would say the Hudson Valley Community College Investment Club made history by being the first two-year institution to allow students to manage a portion of the college endowment, what we call the foundation. So the foundation partners with the investment club. The students themselves made a pitch to the foundation, and the foundation says, yes, we're going to let you manage some of our money. You'll get to buy and sell whatever you want, here's the number to our broker, and they are authorized to make trades up to a certain amount, and we got real world experience. Everybody that participates in the investment club, they discuss and debate and make pitches, and then they bring it before to the group as a whole, and we vote on it, and if it passes, then we execute that trade, and that's done through Hugh Johnson Advisors, also a local company, a financial advising company.
Yeah, which is
This thing's not reading the card.
So at this time we had some technical difficulties, but we continued the podcast with the mukbang segment.
Well, actually, we could just go into the food, I guess. We'll continue our conversation with the food.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Wow. All right, so are we ready to roll? Are we rolling?
Yeah, it's rolling.
Okay, we're rolling. We're gonna do a little, is this called unboxing, unpackaging? What do they call it?
Mukbang. ASMR.
All right, so we're opening this up.
sniffing
Oh my
his
gosh, this is
order.
so gorgeous. Look at this. Can you? Oh man, you know what doesn't come across on the radio or visual is the other senses. The touch. This is warm, and it's aromatic, and it's so nice. Look at that. So, but visually, still very nice. We have this.
Chicken bowl, a chicken rice bowl.
Chicken rice bowl. We have some lovely kimchi in here, and then the chicken with a run of Korean barbecue sauce over it. And we have a tasty little salad.
Shredded cabbage and spring mix.
Spring mix.
And it has a little bit of avocados that you can add, but I think she gave it to him.
Yes.
As in my mom.
Right.
The cook.
Oh yeah, this is authentic. This is the real thing, folks. This isn't somebody reading from a recipe. This is thousands of years of culinary excellence that has been condensed, honed
to a fine, delicious point.
I wouldn't say it's very authentic Korean food. It's like more of a fusion, but
okay.
It's love in a box.
You know what? Yeah, because
that's a good description. Right?
You know what Americans love? They love American food with a name of another. I love pizza. That Italian food is so good. Or that authentic.
Exactly.
Kung Pao. Yeah. So this is great. So we're hoping to capture some of the deliciousness here. All right. Let's start off with.
Should I go in on this too?
Yeah. By all means.
So Chris got the son of egg sandwich, which is our breakfast sandwich.
And I could do a little presentation here of the. Give it a little open up here.
So fresh.
We got the bacon. What else we got here? What kind of sauce we got in here?
We got the house sauce, which is like a
sauce.
sweeter sauce, ketchup.
Let's give it a flip over here. And
Egg omelet.
Oh yeah.
It's our version of the bacon, egg, and cheese.
Love it.
Nice.
Looking good.
All right. So the Korean people have a nickname, the kimchi people.
Kimchi people.
Yep.
That's pretty accurate. So supposedly during the SARS pandemic, back in the day,
Yeah.
a lot of Koreans were able to overcome it, and they think it was because of kimchi, all the antibiotics and stuff.
Because of the fermenting process,
Yes.
just the.
Right. It's full of vitality. Oh, it's very good.
What's mixed in with the egg? There's kimchi in it. Is there kimchi mixed in there?
No.
Or cabbage, or
yeah, there's
cabbage,
cabbage,
that's what it was.
onions, and carrots in the omelet of the son of egg sandwich.
You see, but it's good. It gives it texture you don't expect.
Exactly.
But enjoyable texture. It gives it some extra, like a little bit of crunch in there, which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Since this is our inaugural podcast, would you mind telling us the origins of Son of Egg?
Yes.
So are we talking about the name or the name? So my brother works as a UX designer, so he works on branding, and a lot of our food was served with an egg in the beginning, pre-opening. So he kind of just took that concept and just came up with the name. So it doesn't really have any particular meaning per se, but it's pretty suiting because it's next to the egg in Albany, and
Yep.
Brilliant.
and I think it has a little bit maybe like our religious background. Like it kind of it sounds like son of man and also like son of a cursing. So it's like pretty memorable. So
Right.
whichever you take it, I think the mystery kind of makes it attractive.
And it's a minimalist logo design, which I love. Yeah. So it's easy to.
So there were a lot of people that worked on the space. My brother and his girlfriend both studied architecture at Carnegie Mellon, and then we had like an interior designer like help out with the looks of it. So before this place was built like this, it was like blank, and a lot of it was like a tan peach color. But then we just put simple colors, the gray and the yellow, which surprisingly is the color of the year for 2021. So it was kind of amazing to see that our colors align with that.
What is that color?
That was that Pantone's color of the year, right?
Pantone's color
that's
for
right.
the year. I don't know the exact color, but it's supposed to be just be like a light gray and yellow.
Oh, that's right.
Very
It
nice.
was a yellow. That's right. I thought it was. Yeah.
And so I'll ask a serious question, but did you know that they were originally going to have down here on the Empire Plaza, they just ran out of money. They were actually going to have a giant chicken there as well. But they built the egg first, and then they never got around to building the chicken. So, but it does answer that question. You know, if anyone ever says, "Hey, what came first?" and you're like, "The egg."
So, see, this is why I love the economics class with Stenard. He would just randomly bring up stories like this, jokes like this.
But this sounds like it was truly a family endeavor. This launch of this restaurant.
It was large part my mom. She's been planning this for about 3 to 4 years, I would say, and I even built the website about that long ago. But she was really looking for the perfect place because our budget was pretty low at the time, and we're just looking for not too big of a space. But now we're realizing maybe a little bit more space is good because it's very hard to work in a small kitchen. So for those that don't know, we do have a small kitchen. So whenever people ask for new food, new things, it's very tough because the space is so limited, and it's hard to have multiple people in the kitchen as well. But we are looking to expand, hopefully.
Is there any? What's on either side of us here?
It's Pizzaroni. We're like diagonally across from Dunkin' Donuts on Lark and Madison. And this spot is actually, there was probably 5 different restaurants in the last 4 years. So nobody was able to survive. I'm pretty sure because Pizzaroni just took all the business. Because they've been around for, I think, over 30 years. It's a pretty known spot in the area.
Right.
But the Dutch Pot was here. I think they did pretty well, and they actually moved down into the plaza.
But this is so different. This is, we talk in economics about the not only a comparative advantage and this, the advantages of what you've described with your family members all contributing their own specialties to make it happen, right? Because no one person has all of what it takes to bring it through. So, but then there's also this competitive advantage, and you've got something very unique, something very delicious, and this is good for lunch and breakfast. How's your dinner?
Yeah, dinner is probably our busiest time.
Is that right? How late are you open?
9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay. Now, the Dunkin' Donuts around here, I don't know if I helped to scout out some of the locations for the company that was trying to decide where to have them. Those back in the 90s.
Dunkin' Donuts?
Right. So.
Nice.
And maybe you're familiar with John Meehan, Professor Meehan. He talks about how the McDonald's has a huge group of people trying to find just the right location for marketing purposes and where to put the next McDonald's. Yeah. And Burger King has like 3 people, and they just say, "We'll just wait till till McDonald's figures out where to go, and then we'll build across the street." Yeah. So,
who's smarter?
Yeah, this is a good location for that. And I know it was very convenient for me. I live only a few blocks away from here.
Oh, really?
And it was it's really beautiful. You have this. It's close enough to downtown and what's happening there. There's a lot of things happening here in Albany.
Oh yeah.
And close to the Empire Plaza, just 2 blocks from there. So someone could easily come up here if they worked at the archives, the library, or any of the Empire Plaza buildings. They could get a very nice lunch. And you deliver to them as well?
Yeah, we deliver up to 4 miles from here.
Oh, very good. Okay.
But
So
I started this podcast because I truly believe in the city, this area. I think there's a lot of good people, and I think it just needs to be showcased. You know, a lot of people just overlook Albany as like second tier to New York City, but this is the state capital, you know.
Absolutely.
And this is what I was saying to Justin when we were chatting last week. You know, I said I don't think I truly appreciated all that Albany has to offer until I started working downtown. And when you start spending more time downtown, you start seeing more of their architecture. You start engaging with more people downtown. It's, you know, going to a lot of local spots, and you start going, wow, man, there's actually a lot going on around here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to appreciate. Yeah, and so no, I think this is great.
Yeah, a
It's
lot
great
of
to be able
people
to highlight those things.
And in terms of state workers, New York has the most state workers, and they all leave out of Albany after they're done with the work, you know. But which is not bad. The surrounding areas are growing, but I think Albany in the next few years will really boom. And I think it may come expected, but I think it's happening even faster because of the pandemic. All the New York City people are moving up here. The real estate prices were going kind of nuts, and
High demand. People are finding out this is right because it's got the comfort of a smaller place where you can get around very quickly to all the things you need. The traffic isn't bad because of the excess infrastructure. You might say there's more highways and ways to get around here than a comparable area with a population of 100,000. And we're seeing, like you said, right at the crossroads of two major interstates, close to the Massachusetts border, within striking range of Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Montreal. I don't know. They've changed it now, but the Chamber of Commerce used to say Albany is everything. We're only 3 miles away from Boston, only 3 miles away from Montreal, only 2 hours away from New York City. And I'm like, that's not really focusing on what we have here. Sounds like all you're in for is a long drive. And you don't have to go to those places, right? We have a nice development of different cultures. We got a lot of history. There's some good opportunities in here. And even though the real estate prices are going higher, you know, relative to what they have been around here, it's still a bargain. You can buy 10 places here for what it costs one place.
People are like,
in
what?
Brooklyn.
I can
Yeah.
afford a mortgage that's half of my rent in the city. They're like, I'm buying this house.
Right.
Well, I think we can wrap it up. Sorry for the technical problems in the beginning, but
We had a great time. We're going to enjoy this delicious rice bowl here and your son of egg sandwich.
It's a solid.
you guys have anything, last things you want to say to the people of Albany?
Go explore.
Yeah.
Read about some of the history. There's so much history.
Even just a walking tour of the architecture. Yeah, check out look up Jack and Kim Alvarez's place to get a good taste for what's happening around here, and wherever you live, don't think that it's something to bear through. You're alive now. Embrace it. Embrace where you're living now. And when you were out in Denver, did you love it while you were there for a year?
Absolutely.
Is it because you'd stayed in the home and said, well, it's not Boise?
No, got out there and explored and appreciated all there was that's out there. The life that's out there and the mountains. The mountains.
Yeah, So, and we wish good luck.
Thank you so much.
High fortune. to
Most
the
importantly,
Son of Egg.
come down to Son of Egg and check it out.
Come
For
on
sure.
down.
Appreciate it.
Always a good time at the Son of Egg.
Stay tuned, and hopefully we can hear from these guys again. Bye-bye.
Thanks.